This is video number 2 for all the instruments again, and we're going to continue working with our new rhythm with the 8th note and 8th rest. So be open to page number 9 in book 2. Okay. Now what I've done up here is I've put some rhythms I want us to review on the board, and we're actually going to play them. So remember, chord note gets a number and a tay. We're going to count them out first. So when we're counting this, chord note gets a number and a tay. That gets 1 and tay. I'm hoping you can see this. I know it's kind of small. 1 and tay. Then this is going to be 2 right here. And then that's an 8th note, so it only gets the first half of 2. So what's going to go here is going to be tay. You're going to be resting on tay. Now here, 1 tay, 2 tay, 3, but no tay because it's an 8th note. And then the tay is here. That last note, though, is a chord note, so it gets number and tay, 4 and tay. Now, when we play this, we have to be super careful because you got to make sure that your quarter notes get through both clicks. And we're going to go a little slower. I'm going to go the speed of 54 on this. Okay? So what I would suggest you do right now is pause the video and try to get this on your own first, and then I'm going to play it for you. Okay? So first I'm going to clap it, and then I'll play it, okay? So I clap on 1, on 2, on 3, and on 4. What's that going to do? Well, hopefully you're able to read that and figure out where that happens. And 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4, tay. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4, tay. Now clapping is helpful, however, it doesn't really show us where the end of the note is, does it? So that's why playing is much more important in this case, okay? So listen, because that just sounded like clapping on 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I was doing. But now, I'm going to probably not be in view of the camera here, but listen, I'm going to play through both of these clicks. On the beat 2, I'm going to play through 2, but not on the tay. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay, stop. Okay? Look at that again. 1 tay and go. 1 tay, 2 tay, tay, 4 tay, stop. All right, now play that with me. And 1 tay, right tay, go. 1 tay, 2, stop. 3, stop. 4 tay, stop. Okay, make sure that last note's long enough. Now let's look at this next one. The next one, of course, we're starting with 1. It's an 8th note. It only gets the first half. Here's the tay. 8th note, 2. Only gets a 2. Here's the tay. Quarter note gets 3 and tay. 8th note gets 4. The tay is on the rest. Okay? So I'm going to play through the first click, but not the second click. I'm not going to bother clapping it, because as I showed you, when it comes to this, clapping just doesn't really cut it. We got to really show the full value of our notes by playing. And 1, just watch it. 1 tay, right tay, go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. Okay? Watch that again. You gotta be really careful with the lengths of these notes. People try to make that one too long. 1 tay and go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. Now try playing that with me. And 1 tay, right tay, go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. All right, so you would think, okay, I'm just playing on 1, 2, 3, 4, but notice the difference. Notice the difference when we change the end of the note. Okay, and that's determined by, does it have a flag or not? Now, look at this next one. Quarter note gets all of beat 1. 1 and tay, okay? Now, what goes here? That 8th rest is going to be beat 2. 8th rest can happen on the beat. These are trickier. And then, right here, what's this? It's not 3, because that 8th rest only took up the first half of beat 2. So this is the tay of beat 2. Okay, now this gets all of beat 3 and all of beat 4. So I'm going to play through 2 clicks on that. I'm going to rest on the first half of beat 2. Then I'm going to play on the second half of beat 2, kind of the opposite of everything we've done up here. Okay? And then when I get to beat 3, I'm going to play through both clicks because chord note, beat 4, both clicks because of quarter note. Okay? So let's turn the metronome back on. And watch this. And 3, tay, 4, tay. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4, tay. Here's a very common problem. Notes before rest end up getting cut short. The note right before rest ends up getting cut short. Well, if you cut this note short and you don't play through both clicks, you're going to rest early. Then you're going to make that note early. Then you're going to be ahead and you won't be with your metronome. So make sure it's click, click, stop. Click, click, stop. 1, tay, 2. Okay? Watch me play it again and then I'll have you play it with me. 1, tay, 2, tay. 1, tay, stop. Tay, 3, tay, 4, tay. Okay? Now try playing that with me. So it's 1, tay, stop. And 1, tay, right, say, go. 1, tay, stop. 3, tay, 4, tay. Okay? Another thing is some people try to make that too long. So if you didn't finish with me, you probably did that. Okay, try it again with me. And 3, tay, right, say, go. 1, tay, stop. Tay, 3, tay, 4, tay. Okay? Now look in your book. And look at number 33. And look at measure 2. You just did that. Okay? That is the exact same thing that we just played here. A quarter note followed by an eighth rest. And if you look, remember this book uses 1 and 2 and we use 1 tay, 2 tay. You see right there, regardless, the 2 is where that eighth rest happens. Okay? Beat 2 is when the eighth rest happens. All right, shadow bow 33 now in open D. Shadow bow. 1 tay, right, tay, oh. 3 tay, 4 tay. 1 tay, stop. Tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. 1 tay, 2, 3 tay, off. Play that with me now. You might want to listen to it again in shadow bow again, totally fine. 33, 1 tay, right, tay, go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. 1 tay, stop. Tay, don't stop before me. 1 tay, stop. 3 tay, 4 tay. Okay? Now go on to 34. If you mess that up, don't go on to 34 yet. Get that right, because 34 is the same rhythm as 33, just with notes. Okay? If you're ready, go into 34 with me. And 1 tay, I'm sorry, I should have said this, shadow bow 34. 1 tay, shadow bow. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. 1 tay, stop. And 1 tay, stop. 3 tay, 4 tay. Play that with me. 1 tay and go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. 1 tay, 2, 3, 4. 1 tay, stop. 3 tay, 4 tay. Okay? Now, if you're ready, go on. If you need to practice that again, please do that. Look at 35. Look at 35. You have an eighth rest in there. You have 3 quarter notes and then an eighth rest. I want you to see if you can figure out what beat the eighth rest happens on. Think about this. The 3 quarter notes take up all of beat 1, all of beat 2, and all of beat 3. What's that eighth rest going to be on? Beat 4. What about the eighth note at the end? The tay of 4. Okay? So it's similar to what you did in measure 2 at 34. But it's not, because it's on beat 4 instead of beat 2. Okay, you're resting on beat 4 and then playing on the tay of beat 4. Okay, shadow bow 35. And 1, oh, metronome. And 1 tay, shadow bow. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, stop. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4. 3 tay, stop. 3 tay, 4 tay. Play that with me now. And make sure that note before the rest does not get cut short. And 1 tay, right tay, go. 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, stop. Tay, 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay, 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay, 1 tay, 2 tay, 3 tay, 4 tay. Okay? let's go ahead and go on to 36. I'm going to warn you, this one's a little bit tricky. It starts off with 2/8 notes and their pickup notes. So we're in 4/4 time, but the first two notes happen on 4 and te. They're 1/8 note pickup notes. That doesn't mean it takes up 2 beats. It takes up 1 beat. So I count 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. You play 4 te, 1 te, 2 te. Now again, the note before rest gets cut short. All right. So careful with that. Count to 3, shot a bow, and 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. 1 te, 2, 3 te, 4. 3 te, 4. 1 te, 2 te. Careful. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. 3 te, stop. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. Whereas before, it's the pickup note. Okay, let's do a couple of things first. Play 2 before the end. Play the last 2 measures of the song from here. Right there. Last 2 measures of the song. 1 te. 1 te. Right, so you go. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. Okay, now I want you to start 2 notes before that. So where I want you to start is second line, third measure where the slur is, right there. Okay, I'm looking at a viola book. Your book's going to look slightly different than that. Second line, third measure where the slur is, and it's an up bow. I'm going to count to 3. Just do this. Just do this. A, D, F sharp. Just that. Okay, the last 2 notes of that third measure, the first note of the fourth measure. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. Again, and 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. Now start there and go to the end. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. Okay, now the other place people tend to mess up, look at the end of the first line. Make sure you're going 1 te, 2 te. Okay, the reason people miss up there is they play 8th notes because measure 1 and measure 2 started out as 8th notes and that one starts as quarter notes. Okay, play from the beginning with me. Beginning to end. And 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. 3 te, stop. 3 te, stop. Now careful. Slow bow, slow bow. 1 te, 2 te, lift te. 3 te, stop. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te. Okay, so that one's gonna take a little bit of time. I would practice, you know, at this point you've played enough, you know how to practice in little chunks. Okay, practice what you need to. I would focus on the end of each line and focus where the slur starts happening, where the slurs start up a da 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 da. That part I would play over a whole lot, and then try it again from the beginning. When you have a place where you mess up, tackle that spot, and then try again from the beginning. Okay, practice. You can't get it wrong.